Hello, thank you all for joining. My name is Amanda with stemCONNECT. We're on our next stop with the virtual college tour, and today we have Lake Technical College. I'm going to pass it off to them, but if you have any questions during this presentation that you want to submit, in that side control panel off to the side, there should be a little question mark with a circle around it. Just click on that and a box should appear. You can submit any questions. We'll get them back and we'll try to get you responses as quick as possible. So thank you all for joining, and I'm going to pass it off to you, Lake Tech.
All right, hello everyone. So glad that you're joining us today. I am Kim Frazier, one of the administrators here at Lake Technical College, and I also have with me Holly Burkett. And she does our campus life activities as well as our 504 coordination here at the campus, among many other things as we all do. So we're so happy that you joined with us today, and for those who are going to be joining afterwards when it's recorded. So we're here to talk about my favorite place, Lake Technical College. I've been with the college now for just over 8 years, and I will say of all the places I've worked, it's one of the most amazing that I've ever been. It's such a great pleasure to meet so many students that come in and out of our doors and across our graduation stage in such a short period of time. That is one of the things that I love about Lake Tech is our slogan is career in a year, like many of the technical colleges in Florida. So our students start and finish usually within a school year, and they're out into careers that they love. So we're here to just share a little bit with you today, and then to invite you to our open houses, which are coming up. So I'm sorry you can't see Miss Holly and I, but we are here and we'd love to have you stop by and meet us face to face. So I know we have many students watching across the state, and you're trying to make plans for after graduation. So as we tour around to different high schools, these are some of the answers that we usually get from our students, that they are joining the armed services, they're going right out, getting a job. Some of them are going directly to college. I've had a few even that would tell me they were planning to travel the globe, to which I always try to invite myself, but I have yet to take anyone up on it because I really want to go to Hawaii and Italy, but no one's taken me just yet. So a couple of things about choosing a college, because I know as we are one of many presenters here that you have many options. So I remember when I was in high school just a couple of years ago, asking myself these questions. How do I get started? What's important to me? What do I look for? How long does it take? How much is it going to cost? And why is this school better than that school? My son right now is 15 years old, and so he's just starting his search for college as an incoming sophomore in high school. And he doesn't want to ask all these questions of himself just yet, because he thinks if I just ignore it, it'll go away and it'll just land in my lap. But that doesn't happen. So you, as a high school student, working with your parents, your instructors, your counselors, really do need to start asking some of the hard questions so you do get to the right place for you. So a couple of things that we're going to suggest to you, regardless of what school you're going to or where you land in the end, is that you do your research. So one of the things I would encourage you to do as a high school student is look at the accreditation and reputation of the school that you're looking to attend. I'm not going to mention any by name, but there are some schools out there that are not accredited. And if you try to go on to stack your credentials later into a different college or university, they're going to look at you and say, where you went previously is not an accredited school, because the oversight wasn't there from a larger body to make sure that their financial documents were in order, that everything that they say on their website is what they do in the classrooms. Their reputation isn't good, they go bankrupt. So there's a lot that you should look at that you don't always think of. Sometimes the bells and whistles of things that people present to you are just, they outweigh, you know, what you actually see when you get into the campus. So accreditation is big. It gives the school credentials to be doing and what they're supposed to be doing. Another thing is to weigh the cost to attend. How will this help and hurt you in the long run? You know, each school is different. For Lake Technical College, our tuition is $2.88 an hour, which is really inexpensive. Part of that is because we are a state school. We are part of the public system, And we, as Lake Tech, have chosen not to do loans personally. And I'll talk a little bit more about financial aid in just a bit. But we don't want our students to go in debt. As much as possible, we help support them with scholarships, with the Pell Grant, with other grant monies that come through, because we don't want students to be hurt in the long run with a huge burden of debt. So another thing that we look for is, will the education you receive get you where you want to go, or could you get there in a more efficient way? I won't spend a lot of time telling you my personal story, but you have to come to the campus and I'll tell you the whole thing. But I chose a path that really, if you were to look where I am right now as an administrator at Lake Technical College, I did not start that way. I originally went for musical theater and switched majors several times. I realized that the lifestyle that people in musical theater was not really what I wanted. The salary wasn't really what I was hoping for. And so I spent a little bit of time in college wasting time and money, basically, to decide that this isn't really what I wanted to do, even though it was kind of something I was passionate to do and still love to do to this day. So really weigh the balance. And I tell my 15-year-old that, you know, where you want to go. If you want to be XYZ, then what's the best place for you to go? Is the career on the other side gonna outweigh the debt that you might incur, or could you go someplace cheaper, get someplace faster as far as careers are concerned? So just, that's my free advice for today, is to do your research, ask yourself these hard questions, and not wait until the last minute, because you know, there's a lot of opportunity out there, but you do have to make the decision, as I tell my son.
So now we're going to talk just a little bit about how I'm going to pay for college. I know that must be on many of your minds and your parents' minds too, of course. And you can see some of the options here that we have up on the screen. Bright Futures and Florida Prepaid are excellent ways. Veterans benefits are also. But we really want you to apply for the FAFSA. Yeah, the what? So the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. And that will help you with Pell Grants, loans, and college scholarships. So there's a little bit about, I just went over that. And we hope that you will apply soon for that if you haven't already for the 22-23 school year. And is it difficult to complete? Well, no, not really. But you do need to be prepared when you get started, and you'll need the help of your parents. And so please get that in soon. And we have another screen here, a little bit about our Lake Tech code. It is 013000. And so we hope that you guys will put that in if you're interested in Lake Tech, but regardless of what school that you're interested in, we hope that you'll put the other codes in there too. That just sets our financial aid office up to know what is needed, what you need and what you'll get. Please call financial aid offices at any school that you're interested in, and you know, ask them what grants or scholarships or things are available for you.
All right, so enough of us talking for just a minute. We actually want to show you a glimpse of what's at Lake Tech. I've often said it's great to talk about, but it's better experienced. So we're going to give you just a small glimpse of what's inside of our classrooms with a brief video, and then we'll come back and talk just a little more about it. Oops. Apparently our computer wanted you to watch that one more time. So that's just a small glimpse of what we have here at Lake Technical College. Just wanted you to see a little bit of what's behind our doors, but let you know that we would love to have you here on our campus. So, because obviously, like I said, it's best experienced. We can explain it, but if you can come and see it for yourself, it's a pretty amazing place to be. So I have just a few fun facts about Lake Technical College that you may or may not know. Currently we have 31 career and technical programs. That's why that video was like going fast, because we have so much here. We have 4 campus locations. Our main campus, which is where 80% of our programs are at in Eustis. Then we have our Institute of Public Safety campus in Tavares. Then we also share space with Lake County Animal Shelter in Tavares. That's where our newest program, Veterinary Assisting, is located. And then we have our Instructional Service Center in Claremont, which is shared space with our friends at Lake Sumter State College. So we have these 4 locations currently. We are adding one more location, which is not up just yet, which will be also in Tavares. We're moving our transportation programs over to a brand new facility, which will open up in the next couple of years. So we're always looking for something new, something fun to do. So let's see. We also wanted you to know that we enroll year-round. So traditionally, you think of college as a semester. So it's usually the fall and then the spring. While we do enroll at those 2 different times, we also enroll throughout the year. So we generally have an October enrollment, and then we just started our last quarter with our March 21st enrollment. So most of our programs are what we call open entry programs, where you can bring new students on, quite frequently. Some of them are lockstep, like our LPN programs, our law enforcement, where they start as cohorts, and they usually start 2 to 3 times a year. More fun facts. We often get asked, how does Lake Tech decide what programs to offer? That is a great question. I'm so glad you asked that on the other side of this camera. How do we offer it? Well, we are market driven. We call it eye on results. We have to have job placements and industry credentials in order to offer a program. So if our local business and industry do not require it, if there are not jobs in that particular area, then we don't offer the program. What we serve to do is to facilitate employees for our local employers. So we prepare you for success in those high wage, high skilled careers. But if that career then tops out, which we happened to have a couple of years ago when we had our digital design program, our local industry really didn't support all the graduates. And so it's not fair to a student, in our opinion, if we train you for something and then there is no job on the other side. So we ended up having to close that program. We had an amazing instructor, great curriculum, students loved it, but unfortunately it just wasn't something that Lake and Sumter County needed at that moment. So we did close the program. So that's kind of how we work at Lake Tech, is if it's something that Lake and Sumter County needs, then we talk to business and industry partners. We gather information from them on salaries, how many jobs there are out there. We do this big analysis for it. And if it all seems like, yes, this would be great for the students because there's opportunity on the other side, then we start the program. So you'll see that we will, come and go with programs. We did it with massage therapy as well. And it wasn't because it's not needed. It's just in our local area, there wasn't enough employment to support all of the students that were finishing out with their credentials. So that's kind of how we decide what programs to offer. And then just a little bit more about how it is on campus. I'm going to turn that over to Ms. Holly.
Yes, so as Ms. Frazier mentioned, a part of my job is campus life, and I must say that I probably have one of the best jobs here on campus. It's so important for students to feel like they're engaged, but also feel like they belong. So that is part of my job, is to do that on a regular basis. Some of the things we do that through are student ambassadors. Our student ambassadors are nominated by faculty, and they are sent to me, and they're the ones, they're pretty much the best of the best, and they are leaders and or they want to learn more about leadership. So I meet with these students regularly, and we have meetings to discuss what's going on around campus, any concerns or questions. But we also plan events for the campus, and they help me organize those and also orchestrate those. So those are parts of the student ambassador jobs. We also have a National Technical Honor Society, and those students excel in their grade point average in academics and their attendance and their program completion. And they're asked to be a part of the Honor Society, and we have an upcoming ceremony for them to be a part of that. Them and their families will come. It's just a wonderful honor. The campus activities around campus, we're always doing something. We have an upcoming blood drive soon. We've recently had Spirit Week, where they were able to do some dress up and have, get out of their program uniforms. They enjoyed that, but we had some putt-putt for prizes. We also did some cornhole competitions. And of course, the infamous food. People love food, so that we know that makes them happy. So oftentimes we'll have hot chocolate, or we'll have ice cream day. We'll do nachos, things like that. But again, we do have a very active campus life, and that's what I think makes our students want to be here even more. So,
yeah, Miss Holly is very creative on her title. She does Nacho Normal School Day for nachos, which is always fun. So I know that I wish that we were here to be able to talk to you in person, because we're going to start talking about the actual programs that we have at Lake Tech. So this will be a really quick overview. I would encourage you to visit our website for more information on all of these, because on our website, and actually I'll pull that up real quick just so you can kind of see it. So on our website, this is laketech.org. If you go to programs, you'll see all of our programs listed here. So you can see all 31 programs that we currently have. If you want to narrow it down to just the Institute of Public Safety, which is where we have our law enforcement and corrections firefighter, they have a separate one here. There's also a whole tab here for students. So if you forget what we told you about, say, financial aid, all of that is here. You can go to click for more information for financial aid, and it gives you that information for the school code, and then you click right here and it'll take you directly to the FAFSA. And there's more if you're interested in dual enrollment. I didn't put a slide in on that, but I'll do a very quick overview of dual enrollment. If you are in Lake County schools or Sumter County schools, you may come to Lake Tech for no tuition cost to you. So we are actually collecting applications currently for the fall semester. So you go to Career Dual Enrollment, steps to apply, and then it takes just a second. And then this is the information packet. When you click on that, it'll give you a whole packet here of just, what is dual enrollment? What are the eligibility requirements for dual enrollment? How do I get started? Answers all your questions about fees and testing. And then it shows you at the bottom all the programs that are eligible for dual enrollment. Some of ours do have age requirements on them. You have to be 18 or a senior. Some of them have to be full-time. So all of that is detailed in the packet here. Then if we go back out over here, this is the actual dual enrollment application. So if you click on that, it's a pretty simple application to get it started. This basically begins the process, and as you can see, it's a fillable form that you just type in, you print off, and then you bring it directly here to Lake Technical College and speak with one of our career advisors. Right now we have Pam and Lindy on the front line that they will begin this process for you. They will talk to you, say you choose several different programs, you're not really sure what you want to do, but these kind of sound interesting to you. They'll help career advise you on what does a job look like, what is the class like, and then they'll schedule what we call program shadows for you. So they'll actually spend, you'll let you sit in the accounting operations for an hour, go over to medical assisting for an hour, and then go to auto service for an hour. Once you're done with all of that, then you'll really know what actually has captured your heart and where you want to go, and then they'll proceed from there on the rest of the application process. I will say real quickly, you do have to have a minimum of 2.0 GPA. You have to be in line for graduation, and you must be at least a junior or a senior in high school. So there's a couple other things here or there depending on which program you choose, but those are the basics of dual enrollment. So I will close this down for now. So a little bit about our programs. Ms. Burketta and I are just going to kind of tag team a little bit back and forth to tell you about our programs. Culinary arts and baking and pastry arts. It's 2 different programs. So culinary arts deals with 3 different areas: hot foods, cold foods, and then the baking area, the bake shop as chef calls it. We have 4 chefs between these 2 programs. They are all experts in their field, and I think combined experience is over 70 years between all of them. Not that they're 70 years old, but just that they have combined experience. They have owned their own restaurants. They have run things for very high standing companies, and they have a huge passion for their students and what they do. A couple of days ago, they did ice sculptures. You can see over here in this picture, they had a chocolatier that came and showed them how to do specialty chocolates. Also in the baking program, they learn like wedding cakes. They learn the fancy stuff of the chocolatiers. They do the fancy mousses and pies, and it's just a really great program. Our culinary arts program they do have a live lunch for us and a live breakfast every day. It's a real running restaurant for our students. We don't have just a general cafeteria. We have a student cafe, and we are served by chefs every day. It's quite an amazing experience.
This is the program earlier that Ms. Fraser talked about, the new state-of-the-art building in Tavares that's going to be built soon. It's already breaking ground. But this is where these 3 programs will be in our transportation programs. So auto collision technology, that is a program that deals basically with the outside of the car, as we sadly have car accidents a lot, or I'm sure some of you all may have at this early age. I hope not. But that's where auto collision is able to fix and repair the outside of the car, the panels, but they're also buffing them, getting them ready, and also painting the cars. There's a lot of painting, and you can see down here in this corner here where they will go into that shop to do some of the painting and repairs. And then we also have auto service technician, which deals with the inside of the car. You can see this one student right here. So many times cars now are electronic and way more difficult than they used to be in years past. So there is a lot of book work with this, well, with pretty much all our programs, but it's harder than people realize, the auto service. And so that's an up and coming, again, it's always going to be around. We're always going to need it. And then lastly is our diesel systems technician. This right here, you can see them working on, they work on the semi trucks, they work on trash trucks,
Yes,
garbage trucks, trying to get the word out there. And that program is always busy, always full. And if you're interested in any of these, like we've been saying all along, please reach out to us and you can learn some more.
All right, so we do have a lot of programs, so I'll try to move a little more fast because I know you're watching this in class and you probably don't have much time. We do have a live cosmetology salon as well. They're open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so you can come check them out and be a client on those days. We have the full cosmetology program, which leads to the license for Florida. It includes the facials and nail specialty, but if you're not into hair, don't want to do the cut and colors, you can just do the facial specialty or the nail specialty. Cosmo is a full year. The specialty programs are about a half a year, and it's a part-time program. And then here we have our manufacturing and our architecture programs. On the left side, you see our CNC production specialist program. These are really awesome machines. They're huge. It kind of the students who would be great at this are students who love robotics. They love a little bit of computer programming. They like 3D machines. It's kind of all of that wrapped up into one with blueprints and design. Great program to get into. Clean manufacturing. You can see the students are wearing shirts, and often they wear khakis, and they come out of the shop looking almost exactly as they did walking in. Now, next to that in the middle is welding. They do not come out looking at the end of the day like they did at the beginning. It is a very dirty and hot career to get into, but I tell you what, students who go into welding love it. There's many opportunities for employment. You can travel the world with welding. So that's a great field for you to get into if you're a little bit creative and you just like to get your head down and don't mind getting dirty and get the job done. It's a really great field. To the right is our HVAC program. They are doing what we need in Florida with air conditioning, but they also work with refrigeration, with heating units, fireplaces, gas lines, plumbing, electricity, all of that is in the HVAC program. These are our business programs. So on the left side, those two pictures are administrative office and accounting operations. Administrative office, I would say the students that would want that are those who want to go into kind of like the business management side, like they want to run an office, they want to be familiar with everything that's there. People who want to be executive secretaries, you get great information there to be a huge support to an executive. Then there's accounting operations. They obviously work on the books, balancing the payroll. They also do taxes when they're in there. The other three pictures is our IT program. It's the enterprise desktop and mobile support. They work on A+, Security+, Network+. They do hardware, software. It's essentially your IT person. They're going to get all the ins and outs of that, and what company does not need an IT group. And we have our wonderful health science programs. I will not list them because they're all there in front of you. But one thing I love about what we do for our medical programs is that they actually work in the field. Their training is kind of on the job, and so to speak. So they have their lab training and their clinical setting here at the campus, and they also have their, instruction here, a lot of that. But then they go out to the field. So the top two pictures on the left are our EMT and paramedic students. They actually ride on an ambulance. They go to the live calls. They are a part of the team in the firehouse or the EMS station. Our pharmacy technicians actually go out to the pharmacies in the area, the big chains, and they fill prescriptions under the supervision of a pharmacy technician or the actual pharmacist. We have our practical nursing students, which are down here in the bottom corner. They're actually dissecting a heart right there. And they go out into hospitals and nursing care facilities. So lots of opportunity for you to get your hands into the job. And again, all of these are within a year.
So we have the exciting portion of Lake Tech. All our classes are exciting in courses. However, students love these. And this is at our Institute of Public Safety in Tavares. And so this is our firefighter and EMT combo, as you can see from the pictures, and that's pretty self-explanatory also. But another program that we have is our it's completely online. It's public safety telecommunications. So that's our 911 dispatch. And so if they're hiring, they're looking for people. So if you are interested in public safety telecommunications, please reach out to us and we'll get you set up for that.
All right, and then we have our Florida Law Enforcement Officer and Correctional Officer programs. So you have to go through an academy if you want to be one of these in the state of Florida. So we provide that training under the supervision of the FDLE. You can see over in the picture here on the right, they're doing DT, as we call it, defensive tactics, the takedown methods. They also do have a live shooting range in Tavares that they use and train on. They do have great training there under officers, sheriffs, deputies, captains. They bring in professionals from the areas, either with our local sheriff's office or local city entities, to train students so they can be successful law enforcement and correctional officers here.
All right, so a little bit about articulation agreements, and that's a strange word. Sometimes people don't know what that means, but it basically means that you can earn credit for classes that you took in high school, or you can earn credits through Lake Tech. So we have partnerships with several schools, Valencia College and Lake Sumter State College. So with that, meaning that if you take courses here at Lake Tech, they will transfer over to those colleges, and you can start working on your associates or your bachelor's. We do have more articulation agreements on our website, so if you want to check those out, you can do that also.
Yep, and likewise, those of you who are in high school in a career and technical education program like culinary arts, like CNA, we have local agreements with Lake County and Sumter County schools where you can bring some of that credit over to us as well. And basically, all our articulation means is that you get a BOGO, as I like to say. You do the class or take the class, pay for the class once, and you get basically double credit for it. So high school students coming to us get a little bit of credit, spend a little less time with us, and likewise, when you move on to the state college system from us, you do the same.
And before we move into questions, I just want to mention our Career Texpo. That's our open house, and we are hosting 3 open houses this year. And that's a time you'll be able to meet the instructors. You'll be able to tour our campus, tour each program. There'll be demonstrations taking place. You'll have students in the classroom also that you'll be able to talk to and ask questions. So we really hope that if you are interested in Lake Tech or just want to learn a little bit more about us, that you will sign up to come. You can do that through Eventbrite, or you can go to our website and sign up there. And if you don't sign up and you just show up, that's okay too. We will be hosting them on those days listed. The 4th, the 12th will be at the Institute of Public Safety, and then the 18th. And they are all from 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. So we hope to see you there.
So again, on our website, if you just go to the home page, click on LTC Hosting Annual Career Texpo, you can get all of that information. We are giving away a couple of scholarships to those that register, so that would be the benefit to registering. But like she said, you can just show up. You don't have to. The event is free. You can pop by anytime during the 4 to 6 hour, see as many programs as you'd like, and then talk to financial aid and admissions if you have more questions. So that's the end of our formal presentation. Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, so the first question from our graduating seniors is if they're about to graduate, what would be the next steps to get enrolled?
All right, so pretty easy. I'm still on the homepage. Can you still see our homepage over here?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So the first step is to go to apply now. We have chosen not to charge our students for application fees. So all you have to do is create an account through us. And essentially this builds like the starting of your student profile, if you want to say it that way. So you'll have to have a first name, last name, and email address that you do check. Don't put in one that you don't check, because we are going to send you next steps in that email. You'll create a password that you can remember. We do ask some detailed information inside of the application, you know, like what programs are you interested in, but you can also just say undecided, and then we will connect you with a career advisor to ask more questions. For those that are graduating, if you are a part of the public county school system, either Lake and Sumter, well, any county really, we can look at or talk to your guidance counselors to make sure you're graduating with a standard high school diploma, in which case you would not have any further testing needed. If you're graduating with a special diploma or from a private school, it's a little deeper conversation just so we can advise you on your next steps. But it's relatively easy to apply to Lake Technical College. I will say that while our application process is easy, our classes are small. Most of our classes are between 20 and 30 students with 1 or 2 instructors. So it does fill up quickly. So I would encourage you to apply sooner than later and follow through with all of the steps that they give you as far as career advising to complete that, because once it's full, we don't open another section. We're not able to do that because our students, when they come, say for auto collision, they're in the auto collision program from 8 to 4, Monday through Thursday. It's not like they just come for an hour a day, you know, 2 days a week, and then we open another section for students. It's very structured, and that's why we get you in and out in a school year.
And then what would be your most popular program?
They're all popular. I would say the ones that currently have wait lists, and it ebb and flows with, just the students, but the ones that currently have waiting lists would be our facials and nails specialty programs. There's always a waiting list for that. Phlebotomy is a very quick paced program, so there's usually a waiting list for that. Welding, culinary arts, and probably our nursing program. Those are the most sought after, I would say. Yeah.
And then I remember you talked about the clubs. Are there any sports available at Lake Tech?
No, I wish personally we had some sort of team that we could root for, but no, we don't have sports. And really the main reason for that is because we are a career in a year. Our students are in and out very quickly, and they're very focused. Like I said, when they come for a program, they're in that program generally from like 8 to 4 daily. It might be 7:30 to 3:30, they flex just a bit, but they're in it to get a career quickly, and then they move forward. So we don't know them for very long, but we love them while they're here.
Awesome. That's all of our questions. I think it's really exciting that you guys presented, and thank you so much. If we get any other questions, we'll direct them your way. But definitely any student who is interested in getting in a career quickly, these technical colleges are really awesome and are definitely worth the consideration. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll end the webinar.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a good one.